Hey guys, I'm on vacation here in Singapore. There's a good chance that if you have an extended vacation and you've saved up some money, chances are you're going to be doing the same thing that you would be doing anyway, but you've got more time to do it. So just whatever spot you're in, just think about how to increase the time that you have to do the things that you like to already do. If you go to a place more than once, you've already seen most of the places that you want to see. So assuming you don't have the money to travel all over the world to every single new place in the whole world, chances are you're going to pick 2 or 3 or maybe 10 places you really like and then just go back to them. And when you go back to them, again, you're just doing the same things that you would be doing wherever you are right now. You would just have more time to do them. So instead of thinking about, sort of massive changes to your life, if you happen to be stuck in a rut, just try to spend more time doing the things that you already like to do. Speaking of Singapore, everyone thinks, oh, it's so clean. Depends on where you are. Every city has a rich place and a poor place. And the only major difference I've seen is how safe is the less affluent place within that country. And, good news is even though I'm in a quasi, what I call, as a semi-joke, a quasi-ghetto, it's perfectly safe here. Litter on the streets everywhere, people drinking alcohol, sometimes on the bench. But again, for the most part, you're dealing with effectively a very safe place. So people walking, no problem at all. So really the main differences are going to be, the diversity of the people, the age of the people, and then basically the safety. So anyway, got somebody scooting over here on the sidewalk. So ultimately, the other thing I realized about, is something completely different. It's about effectively capitalism and economics. So I'll be very quick about it. So ultimately, the real problem with the American economy is that everything is tilted towards military spending, which has stayed constant or has risen every single year, regardless of whatever administration is involved. And so, if you look at it that way, ultimately, the civilian sector of the economy is in dire straits because they actually compete. And so, effectively, if you do it that way, you have to figure out a way to establish fair pricing within that system. And so, if you do it that way, how do you do it that way? And the difference in the civilian economy versus the military economy is that you're really dealing with essential items, right? So look at the civilian economy. You've got cigarettes, you've got, groceries, you've got, for the most part, clothing, things you need. And the pricing for that really varies. You go to Ross, you go to, a department store, go to Nordstrom, it varies. And so a lot of that money is spent on marketing, not on any kind of true differentiation. And so how do you fix all that? And again, the problem is that you don't have any sort of fair arbiter telling you, well, what is the price of this? And so the market economy has to kind of work it out, for itself, because nobody trusts or has a really good objective idea of what something is in the civilian economy, even if it's necessary, like clothing, is nobody has an objective way of saying, well, this is what that's worth. So there's a lot of competition, but the civilian economy keeps losing ground every single year to the military economy. Semiconductors, AI, that's all weaponized. It's all, I know you can make pretty pictures with AI, but for the most part, it's designed to hack other people's systems in an offensive capacity. So those stocks are going up. The semiconductors designed to help AI do the hacking and take over control of somebody else's infrastructure. Again, that is once again going to be a situation where you're dealing with an offensive weaponization situation. And what happens to everything else? Shoes, Nike's at a multi-year low, Reebok, et cetera. Clothing, you don't really know what that situation is. And so the question within that I think Western economies need to ask themselves is, how do we bolster the civilian economy in a way that's more fair? And people sort of gave up on that. They said there's an invisible hand, and we're going to try to let the market economy figure that out for itself. This is clearly not going to work when you have such a vast divide between the military economy and the non-military economy. So I think we're going to get back to a new form, or perhaps an old form of economics, where you're going to have to try to figure out, what exactly is the fair price of something, and what exactly is a fair cost of living, especially when inflation is going to go up, when oil prices are fluctuating by sometimes $20, $25 a day.